Whatever happened to remember a couple of years back in Quezon City, they decided to draw out bike lanes.
It's still
Yeah,
there.
they're still there, but
No,
I don't see anyone using it.
It's scary.
Yung
lane.
the cars, they just go around so fast.
Yeah,
So
Actually, there's actually, diba, they pointed, they painted the lines in some parts of QC just for that. And
Brian, you were saying?
Oh, well, regarding that bike lane, so the bike lane is still there, but it's like an invisible lane. Nobody noticed it.
Okay. Nabura. Or meron pa ba?
or no
Meron
one's,
pa,
the
pero
motorists
hindi
aren't
pa-
respecting that space.
Yeah.
And some motorcycles use it as an overtake lane.
You see, that's a problem kasi
Well,
disiplina eh.
Another point is you have to also include the people there. They're trying to walk on that lane as if it's a pedestrian lane,
Yeah.
and some jeeps use it as a lane. There's also an existing bike lane in Quezon City in the elliptical road,
Yeah.
but there is no access way going to it.
Okay.
So there's no sense going to that
And I'm
center.
sure being members of the Firefly Brigade, that concerns you. And what do you guys do about that? Sino kinakausap mo?
Well, actually, we intermittently sit with the MMDA for the Metro Pajacan project, which is actually the plan to put bike lanes in Metro Manila.
Yeah.
During the time that it was when we had very high fuel prices, a lot of people were shifting to commuting, leaving their cars at home, doing bimodal, leaving their cars at a certain point, taking the train, or even biking. They were kind of hot discussing the bike lanes during that time, and even opened up the bike lane that you were mentioning, which actually was it's actually less than 10 kilometers. It starts in Katipunan and ends at the corner of EDSA in Camias.
Okay.
It goes through the neighborhood of Camias in the Project 2-3 Savior area. But like Brian said, the lanes have faded, the signages have faded, and most importantly, enforcement was never given attention, and you know,
So you guys
it's
should...
one big parking lot, or it's
Yeah.
one big
Well, if you
passageway.
notice something about the MMDA, they're always willing to try something new, but after a while they get lazy implementing whatever you need to implement it, which is something that really needs to be focused on, which is a pity because there's a lot of good things out there, but after the paint is dried, let's put it that way, and it seems they lose interest in upholding whatever it is they need to do.
Siguro lang rin, MMDA, marami rin naman, they have a lot of nice projects. It's just that maybe, we just have so many road problems, but we also believe that if you try to address the problems agad and not create the problems anymore in the first place, then maybe you have less work to do. With the bike lanes kasi, you start with a sound urban and transportation policy. So we've heard about the presidential decree saying that the president is instructing so and so government agencies to make a priority na combine non-motorized transportation, which is bike and walk,
Right.
and then efficient transportation, which is the train. They've been mandated to put it into their priority lists, but like us, we've never heard anything about the NMT 10 years after the Philippine Cleaner Act has been passed into law. The NMT, or the non-motorized transportation, hasn't really gained any ground. We'd all, in terms of policy, have.
Okay.
But when we do our research, we see like in Naga City, there's a councillor there who actually passed an ordinance making the bike parking and bike spaces mandatory for all commercial establishments. I think that's a milestone, and they're in Naga. Maybe it's doable there, but we believe that it's basically doable in any city as long as it's...
I think it's as long as it's enforced,
Yes,
and
it's
somebody
enforced.
follows up, follows through with it.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
That's true. And I think the public sector, if there are a lot of people who are into biking anyway, and there's an instruction such as that, then maybe we should take it as a green light to go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity, because a lot of people are too busy waiting for the next guy to go muna. And then we'll go and do it. We'll talk more about this
Give me
in
one
just a
sec.
bit.
Gio Gregorio says the Firefly Brigade really rocks. I think there should be more awareness to the motorized riding public to learn and give also respect to bikers, because bikers are also privileged to use the roads.
Thank
Gio.
you.
That's nice of Gio. Okay, we have the Firefly Brigade with us on TNT today.
Yes, and we'll be back with more right after this.